So this is going to be like episode 4, I believe, of the unhinged rant budget smartphone version of maximum efficiency rating. This is going to be another general tips guide, less specified than the last one. Not that I don't always go off topic, because as I said in the last video, that's sort of the nature of this game. So I'm going to start with the market, first and foremost. As I said previously, green shards are really important. Always be buying your green shards. Whenever you see that little red dot appear on your market, click on it, buy the green shards. Hell, click on it if you're in the early to mid game. Check out any blue or purple 5-star gear. I picked up some some double and triple speed roll gear out of the market. Oh, it's been crazy. Honestly, I don't feel like anybody talks about it enough. Don't spend gems refreshing it or anything stupid. Don't spend gems on anything except for like energy, and like if obviously you've been doing the efficiency thing for a while, you can build up energy. I've just dumped everything for energy during that champ training tournament, the champ training event. Oh, it's already over. But yeah, I got the legendary book at the end of that bad boy. And that's why I've got no gems. And prior to that, I didn't have that many because I've been upgrading the Guardian Ring. Again, efficiency. But yeah, so like the first one's the market. Second one, obviously always upgrade your gem mine if you're planning on playing this game for a while. The Forge is your best friend. Only use up materials on non-CVC if you desperately need a piece of gear, or if you're completing advanced quests. Otherwise, make everything on the CVC, and during the 2 weeks in between, just work with what you've got, because it's honestly just better that way. You'll get better rewards mass summoning things. It's just the way this game is like put together. What was the other point I wanted to make? Oh yeah, Altar of Souls. So this is a fairly new feature. It came out basically as I started playing the game, like about a month after, maybe 6 weeks after I started playing the game. So I had a decent grasp of the game by the time it came out, but it's one of the things I've only really gotten, to the point where I can interact with it recently, where I can do some Iron Twins content. You only need to get to stage 11 if you're in the early to mid game. That's when it starts dropping the currency, like, just straight up. So, like, these bad boys, it starts dropping 1 to 2 of these each time you run it. So you only want to run, like, the 6 a day or whatever, and then just start collecting those. Obviously, for those late game Krakens and stuff, it's a terrible fucking system for those poor bastards. They've already spent the money, they've already got the champs, they've got so much stuff they need to improve the power of. Every time some idiot gets a 5 or 6 star, or even 4 star, like, Trunda, and, like, slaps, I don't know, what they put on, Crushing Rend or something on it, suddenly you're no longer competitive, and I really feel for those guys. But, like, that doesn't really affect us here in the early to mid game. The way you want to be using your Altar of Souls is effectively, yeah, you want to be running those 6, like, just with your energy boosters and stuff, like the batteries that you get during your advanced quests, and, like, the extra one you get for finishing all the advanced quests. However you can manage it, like, do your daily farming, do your, run a few multi-battles to get those 1-2 stars up, get your dragons out of the way. Again, don't run dungeons if there's no event. Seriously, guys, it's just not worth it. I know you think gear is the be-all and end-all, but go have a look at your champions. Make sure they're fully skilled, make sure they're fully mastered. Like, baseline effectiveness in this game is immensely powerful, and nobody talks about it, not even the big YouTubers. They're like, yep, just put these 2 books in, now this guy's good to go. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. He's good to go. He's good to go because you're running bloody, like, a fully maxed out Great Hall, like a Drexstar Blood Twin, a Geomancer, and a Lysandra alongside this piece of shit epic that you're telling everybody to only put 2 books in. No, don't listen to those idiots. Get more. Get more purple books. Get, like, participate in the events and get the damage as well. Like, unless it's on somebody who's a pure support and you're not building anything damage-wise on them, fully book them. Seriously. It's bad advice sometimes, and I'll admit that, like, 10% of people who hear this, if I ever get enough of an audience to have any kind of statistics available to me, it might be bad advice. But for most of you, it's great advice. You don't have these huge champion pools, but you can work towards the books in the meantime. It's just... yeah. Anyway, that being said, that makes efficiency of books much, much more important. So if you pick up somebody, like, that makes some of the early epics, like, I kid you not, if you put a single book into bloody, what's his idiot's name again? Yaga the Insatiable. Oh my god. He does nothing. He does actually nothing. That's a lot of poisons, and I'm pretty sure he existed specifically back when this game came out and nobody had poisons. Like, when people were using, like, outlaw monks or something, and I'm sure those, like, few poisons he could put out were impressive, but no, he needs a buff. He needs, like, a poison. He should be a poison exploder. Like, move him back from being the, whatever he is, the 60-day reward to, like, one of the last ones and make him a poison exploder or something? God. Anyway, books are insanely important, and those 5, 10, 15% increased damages don't look like much, but especially on, like, max HP champions, ignore defense champions, they really mean a lot. Like, a lot. You should see the damage differences some of these guys make. I pride myself on always skilling out, like, as much of my, like, rare champions as humanly possible, just because of, like, the damage difference. Like, Channy's a great example, because she's an epic champion, so she was my first epic champion. Obviously, so she was booked out really slowly. It took like a whole month, and it was like all the free books that you get that are like zero effort. And her damage just exploded. Like, you just see, where was it? It's this one. So you see how this is all damage and then one cooldown. Obviously, you want to be getting the cooldown because it's a debuff extension, so maybe this isn't the best example. Because you want to be doing it anyway, so you wouldn't really notice. But the damage increase on that is now, like, comparable to her freaking, is now, like, incomparable to any other ability. And this damage, like the damage on this is absolutely crazy. And you want to get, like, stuff like Sniper on her, so if you haven't got the masteries on her, she's weak too. Like, so many characters that people consider weak, you just need to look at their kit, figure out what makes them weak, and then build shit around shoring up those defenses, like, shoring up those weaknesses, rather. Same with Grave Chill, so she's not fully booked out, but she's pretty close. Oh, no, she is fully booked out. Yeah, so she got added to the team, and even though she's not a permanent fixture, these are blue books. Every time, you should be doing your clan quests every single week. You spend the clan gold on every time those 5 rare books appear, you buy them. Every time you see the energy, you buy it. Every time you see, like once you're done with that and you're no longer 6-starring a million things at a time, or you don't need rares because you've moved on to epics, then you start getting Yannicka, then you start getting your Cold Scourge. On that note, though, for Tag Team Arena, no excuse not to get Drexler Blood Twin. I haven't got it, I've only got like 25 shards for the guy, but like, as soon as I was capable of picking them up every day, I've been doing it. That man will be revolutionary 75 days from now. This game really is a labour of love. But yeah, don't underestimate books. Don't let people convince you that your piss tiny little account is anything to do with their massive $6,000 spent account. They're different beasts. They're different creatures. Ignore their advice, frankly. If it's not specifics about dungeons, and like how to do things, people's advice on champions is poor. The exception being Ash. Ash, Raid Shadow Legends is... that man has played enough free-to-play to really know, and even Hell Hades is pretty good for free-to-play, but like he's using a couple of endgame strategies that's actually gimping his account. Not that I have any of the audacity or like clout to talk shit about Hell Hades. He's much, much better at the game than me. I just feel like he's slightly blinded by the fact that he knows where he's going and he's not paying attention to where he is. Ash is not the same. He lives in the moment. So if you're looking for, if I can do anything, and by the end of this video, it's watch those 2 YouTubers. If you're mid to late game, Hell Hades is your man. If you're early mid to early late game, then Ash is your man. Like both of those content creators are absolutely phenomenal for just about like any point. But if you're looking for ultra specifics, Cold Brew, Scratch Plays, there's another guy. There's a guy who does content kind of like what I'm doing right now, English fella. He was on Hell Hades' channel recently, and he seems to be doing, he's probably like 100 times better than me for this maximum efficiency rating sort of like shtick that I'm putting together. But yeah, if you go through some of the earlier, so some of the latest Hell Hades videos, you'll find him. He's this guy. He talks in the same insane specifics as me, only he's just 100 times more educated on the topic. So frankly, yeah, just go watch him. But if you like an Australian saying like cunt and mate all the time, and I'm probably not going to be monetized because I swear so much, you know I'm not a sellout, so I'm just here for fun. Anyway, do I have one last tip? I do love doing one last tip just for the people who stick around for a bit. Let me think about it for a second. Basic tips, obviously you can do the, like, 1 dude, 1, 2, 3, upgrade, rank up, bam. Now, this isn't something that I do all the time, and I'm kind of sad that I just did that 40 minutes before the swap over, because, like, that hurts my soul. But I only do that once a day, just to get the quest out of the way really quickly, just because I don't like having to focus on these quests. I like to pump them out as fast as possible to get access to the energy and the gems and move on to the advanced quests, because I don't want to spend all day playing this fucking game. I say maximum efficiency, but I'm really running at about 95% efficiency, because some stuff I just go like, that's too laborious, screw you. And like, but you build up the resources to be allowed to do that. Let me see, one last tip. Let me see. Oh yeah, Doom Tower. I don't know, that's what I'll do. Don't be afraid to try Doom Tower. You saw how crap my champions were. Just push up Doom Tower every single day that you can. While you're doing these like overnight Minotaur runs and all the rest of this stuff, you will be gaining power without even noticing it. It's one of the best things about playing this game passively, as opposed to like picking 2 hours and then playing it hard. Is like playing it, you know, like 10 minutes at a time, you know, 12 times a day. Yeah, you just keep doing this. It's crazy, and like once a month, and it's not huge, but once a month, like you gain all these resources. You can spend them every day. You get like charms and energy and gems and silver, and obviously you get your helmet. So always be focusing on your secret rooms, because Archmage helmet is crazy. Not that I have him, but I've seen all the videos on him, and like that's what I'm working towards, more or less. Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do like one tip for each of these. So first tip for the first boss at the bottom of the Doom Tower is don't worry about it. Just nuke him as hard as you can. His mechanics don't matter. He's so weak. Second one, mechanics matter. So look up their primary mechanic. For example, for Magma Dragon, it's Provoke. That's all you need. Provoke for the second one. Third one. So we're starting to get like more into actually needing to pay attention to mechanics, because obviously I'm not far enough through the game. If you're further through than me, you might just be able to blast through this one and no worries. But if you're at the same point as me, you have to think about it a little bit. So for Nether Spider, it's no AoE, just single target nuke. There's nothing special about my spider team. Literally nothing special at all. As you can see. What they do, so we've got, he has his rats off tier, so I think it's his A2, turned off. He has his AoE Provoke turned off, and then the rest of them are all just targeting the spider, and she has her A3 turned off as well. They're all just targeting the spider. All they're doing is healing through the poison and smashing the Nether Spider over and over and over and over and over again. That's it. But yeah, anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for putting up with more unhinged rants. I'm sure there will be more to come, because, God, I just have so much to say about this game. Alright, anyway, catch.